Hey everyone, Geeky here with my spoiler-free playthrough of The Longest Journey. I wanted to specify spoiler-free right from the outset because I didn't want anyone to be worried they'd be getting into this and I'd be referencing all the time stuff that's going to happen in the future. I know several people that have asked me to play this have never played this before, don't know anything about it, except maybe what they've seen Jet play on her live blogs of it. So I want you guys to have the chance to experience the story and these characters for yourselves without, having all of this extra baggage of knowing, this character is going to do this in the future sort of situation. So, good to be spoiler free. I'm really excited, but also really apprehensive to be doing this playthrough because I love The Longest Journey. I think if you ever try to talk to me about it, you know that. I'm completely obsessed with this game and I love it to death, and I've played it over 20 times. I'm apprehensive because it's old school adventure. For those of you who don't know what old school adventure is, it means it's a lot of dialogue and characters talking and sometimes a lot of reading, and that's not always the not always the most conducive thing to a good playthrough, because there's not going to be a lot for me to talk about. Other than flailing about how much I love the game. There will be a lot of me being silent here. So fair warning in advance. I hope you guys like it. I'm open to thoughts. I'm on my new headset too, so I hope all of the sound's fine. I tested it out extensively. Especially with this game, because I want my voice to be only a little bit louder than everyone else's voices, because I'm not planning on talking over anyone. So I want our voices to be on the same level. So, let me know if there's any issues with sound or anything, and I will work on it for the next part of this. So come with me and join me on, in my opinion, one of the best games ever made. But I'm not biased at all. Prologue: A lion is in the streets.
So, you've come to hear me tell a story, have you?
If you please, we would love to hear one of your stories. You have seen so much. You have lived so long.
Oh, so good of you to remind me of my age, child. No, don't worry. I am an old woman, but I've lived a long and fulfilling life, and I do have stories to tell. Which story would you like to hear?
A true one. A true story.
All my stories are true, child. There are enough fairy tales in the worlds already. There's no need for me to make up more, believe me.
Tell us the story of the balance, then.
You want the story of the balance? Oh, that's a long story, child, and not one I'd venture to tell at this hour. But perhaps I could tell you a story that I heard a long time ago. A story that became a crucial turning point in the history of the balance, and that set in motion wheels that to this day are still turning.
Please, yes, that does sound like a story we'd like to hear.
Very well. This story, like all good stories, begins where it ends, in a tower, in a realm that is no more.
This music is so nostalgic for me, brings me just way, way, way back. I remember sitting for, probably hours, taking screenshots of that longest journey drifting across the screen, because when this game originally came out, 15 plus years ago, maybe it was more like, no, I think about 15's about right. It came in plastic sleeves, not actual cases, and I wanted to make my own cases, but they needed covers, so it took forever trying to get good covers for them. because I wanted them to look pretty because it was my favorite game and it deserved to look pretty. I might even still have those CDs somewhere around here. I should... If I find them in the Great Cleaning Spree of 2018, I'll be sure to take pictures and let you guys know.
Don't tell me I'm dreaming again.
You know, for once, just once, it would be nice to have a decent night's sleep without waking up screaming from a bad dream at 4 a.m.
I mentioned before this game's over 15 years old. But despite its age, I still think it does backgrounds more beautifully than like any other game I have ever seen, and despite its age, I mean, the 3D models didn't hold up so well, but oh, the backgrounds are so beautiful. And I think one of my favorite things is like a lot of the time when you see beautiful backgrounds, the characters will look out of place on top of them. April never does, except in the sense that she's, you know, not modeled as well, simply because of like limitations to 3D models 15 years ago. But like she still looks like she fits, if that makes sense. Like, you know, like in old cartoons where you could tell what was going to move because it would be a completely different color and it would like offset itself from the background, and so you always knew anything that was going to move on the screen. That like this game doesn't do that. Like April, like it's obvious that April is different than her background, but she never looks out of place. The background still looks like it belongs, and she looks like she belongs in the background. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but I really love the backgrounds in this game, and the settings and everything looks just amazing.
Postcard pretty. Real life never looked this good. Real life never
You'll probably hear things multiple times. It's the nature of these sorts of games is that oftentimes there will be multiple comments about something you click on, so you'll have to click on things multiple times. And I mean, I've played this game like a billion times, but even I can't remember how many times you're supposed to click on something. And you won't see it here, but eventually you'll start noticing I'll be looking for new things to click. I've played this over 20 times, and I know most everything to click, but despite how many times I've played it, I still sometimes find stuff that I didn't find before. And it's so exciting to me, so I'm always, always, always looking for more stuff to, like, new things that I never saw before. And so you guys will just have to deal with me drifting slowly over the scene. Ooh, can I click on this? Can I click on this? But I played these just the other day when I started my playthrough, so you guys won't have to deal with it for at least a little while.
It's a pristine and picture-perfect dawn. It's a pristine and picture-perfect dawn. There's a storm heading this way. Even the weather sucks in my dreams. I feel so charmed.
I mean, come on. She's wonderful.
Storm's coming. You know, that should really have been my cue to wake up. Storm's coming. You know, that should really have been my cue to wake up. What's happening? Oh, perfect. I guess if I don't do something to save that egg, I'll suffer 7 years of bad karma or something. It looks reptilian, but it can't be. It's much too big and I don't much care for reptiles.
This voice actress is just so good. She gets, like, just so much across in just the smallest things.
It's a very big egg. Lucky thing the egg got caught between those roots. It's a long way down. Lucky thing the egg got caught Did that sound come from the egg? Boy, that's some chick. I don't think I can get a good grip on it. It's too big and slippery and I might drop it by accident. No, I might drop it. There's got to be some other way to get it back into the nest. No. I'm in my undies. That's so not appropriate.
Hey, but at least your dream self has socks so your feet aren't getting dirty. I mean, can you really complain too much?
It's a nest, padded with large scales, very large scales. For some strange reason, I have a feeling I should get the hell out of here before the tenants return. It's a nest, padded with large scales, very large scales. This is interesting. I've never seen a scale this size before. I'll keep it as a souvenir.
Oh.
It's a nest.
Oh, old school inventory systems. Where does she put it? Who knows? What is it? Hammer space. I don't know if that's what the kids are calling it nowadays, but back in my day, when you were talking about where anime characters would pull objects out of, seemingly from nowhere, you would call it hammer space, because oftentimes it was a hammer. Never in any of the animes I watched, but I was so assured by my husband that that's the case. Many of them pulled hammers out of nowhere.
It's a large, slick, and somehow disturbingly reptilian scale. Scaly. It's as dry as a bone. It'd probably snap right off in a second. I'm an artist, not a botanist, but I'm pretty certain this tree is dead, or close to it. I'm an artist. Something happened to this rock quite recently, and it probably altered the course of the stream. Hey, maybe that's why the tree's dying. Something happened. Fresh mountain water. Back in the real world, they'd probably charge $15 a bottle for this.
Oh, April. Only you knew. Only you knew the weird-ass shit that was going on with mountain water nowadays.
Fresh mountain water.
Rich people are weird.
Oh, the suffering we must endure.
What?
Why do you take such pleasure in torturing us?
Torturing you? Who are you?
We are the voice of all trees, the spirit of wood and leaf.
You're a talking tree?
No, a tree does not talk. At least not in your tongue. The tongue of trees is the language of wood, root, and leaf.
Who are you then?
Like we said, we are the voice of all trees. Whenever an injustice is done, we must speak for the tree if we are present.
It's the branch. I shouldn't have broken the branch off.
Oh, what does it matter anyway? There is nothing more to be done for us. We are simply here to provide comfort in the final passing to Earth.
We? I only see one of you.
We are one with our host, as we are all one spirit, but legion.
Yeah, thanks for clearing that up.
We do not expect you to understand. You are human.
Who are you again?
We are the wood spirit. We come to all trees in the hour of great need to provide comfort and aid in the passing to Earth, and to give a voice to those who suffer.
What happened to the tree?
Oh, the pain. As the battle raged, we...
Battle?
Between the Mother and Black Chaos. She was only protecting her child, but it would not back down, and the force of their battle shook the mountain. The brook that fed us was led astray, and without water, we began to wither and die.
What's the deal with the egg?
Egg? What egg? Oh, of course, the child. Whenever the mother was absent, we were entrusted with the safety of the child. But now, withered and without strength, we can do nothing to help. We have failed the mother, and we despair. Our shame knows no bounds. Our time is running out as we speak. The passing to Earth is about to begin. Leave us now.
What about the egg?
Oh, it is too late. Without sustenance, we do not have the strength to bring it safely home. We have failed, and the Earth will know our shame for all time to come.
Are you always this glum?
We are here because it is too late. The passing has begun. Leave us, please.
Isn't there anything I can do to help?
Oh, we do not expect a human to come to our aid.
Lose the attitude, okay? Just tell me if there's anything I can do.
It is futile. We need water, but there is none. Not after the brook changed course.
I'll find a way. Don't panic.
We do not panic. Unlike you, we accept our destiny. If, however, against all odds, you do succeed, we will carry the child safely back into its nest. Do not make a foolish attempt on your own. It would spell certain misery.
So yeah, I'm expecting there to be lots of silences from me like that, because, I mean, there's not really much for me to comment on. And they're doing all the talking, other than the fact that April is super snarky and thus amazing, and is so already done with all of this, and we've only just started the game.
I'm an artist, not a botanist. Excuse me?
This is no time for idle conversation. We need water, so that we may live.
Don't know if you guys heard that. That's train. We live pretty close to the train tracks. It really depends on the time of day, how fast the train is going, how the wind is blowing, how easy it is to hear from our place. About this time of day, it's actually usually pretty loud because oftentimes there's rush hour trains going past, so they're going really, really fast. So hopefully that's not too annoying.
According to the, spirit, there was some kind of battle that split the rock and changed the course of the stream. It's the withered limb of a dying tree. I feel so guilty. I really do. It's a dry branch. I think I just made a funnel. Cool! I'm so proud of myself. It's a funnel. Granted, it's primitive, but it's handcrafted and I used only organic ingredients.
So you hipsters had better be all over it and paying thousands of dollars for it, because look how pretty it is.
It's a funnel. This should do the trick.
I've always been very impressed because that could be super duper creepy, and it's a little creepy, but it could definitely be creepier, and they managed to make it, just only a little bit creepy. Just a little bit.
Neat. My arts and crafts teacher would be so very proud of me. Neat. My arts and... It's a very big egg. Didn't the spirit say the tree would lift the egg back after I watered it? I guess he needs a little reminder. Lucky thing the egg got... Didn't the... Talk about instant rehab. Hello? Hello?
Leave us be.
Are you okay?
We find our strength returned, and so we have no time for idle conversation. We must drink and rejoice.
Aren't we forgetting something?
Hush, listen. The song of ancient wood. Is it not sweet?
Sweet, definitely. Yeah, the baby's probably ready to boogie down as well.
The baby. Oh, the egg. Thank the earth. We almost forgot.
Uh-oh. What? What was that? Uh-oh.
It is you. You have come.
You know me?
April, daughter, I have been waiting for you.
Waiting, why?
Because it begins here, with you, as it always has.
What do you mean?
The breach and the mending, the pain and the joy, the end of the old and the dawn of the new. A different world. I am the mother of what is, but you are the mother of a future that may yet be.
How will I know? How will I know what to do?
I will guide you, and I will protect you as much as I can. But in the end, you are on your own.
I'm afraid.
You always were, my child, my daughter.
This is probably not a good thing.
Chapter 1, Penumbra.
What a nightmare. I'm completely exhausted. I must have been tossing and turning all night. It's so hot in here, too. No wonder I keep having these weird dreams. I've basically been simmering in my own sweat every night this past week. Doesn't look like it's gonna cool down anytime soon, either. It's another sunny day in Newport. Well, it's a good thing the studio's got proper air conditioning. I promised myself I was gonna spend most of the day working, and I don't intend to break that promise. Not this time.
Alright, well this seems like a good stopping point, and we're about the time limit I set myself for these sorts of things. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If there's anything you want to see me doing differently, just, send me a message and let me know. I really do hope you guys enjoyed this. This is one of my favorite games, and, I would love for you guys to love it as much as I do. But yeah, so that was it. See you guys next time. Bye.